interaction while that's going on. Give more reason for people to tune in and participate live, sort of thing.
I don't know if I can make a comment and maybe I'll have the option to make it sticky.
I really need this job. My last one kind of blew up.
Why don't we go take a look at shooting some guns?
Pin, yes, okay, so action
Alright,
pin,
so let me
pin.
show you how we
Quick, okay,
quality
so let's do
control
that.
and
Once you start the pre-flight, you can post it and then sticky it.
Yeah,
So
well,
this is what your target should
exactly.
look like
I mean,
before that.
I
Why don't
just
you give it a
started
try?
the loop is playing now. It's actually live now.
So you can go ahead and have that on there already.
Right.
So go in the waiting room.
I'll pose a question with it.
I'm not sure this is going to work out.
Okay, to pull some sort of dare. What should wear for, what should Rich wear for Halloween? Mix any of those? Sorry, I know I gave you a lot of verbiage on that.
I don't know. I'll just kind of pick my way through and.
There's some that,
Okay.
let me just quick look and see, there's some that I wanted.
Is Cody here yet?
Oh, this is probably the biggest one that kind of summarized some stuff if they're for the event. Some stuff that's not going to be part of the event. You can talk about it ahead of time. Between, or you can talk about working with external folks and say there's some other stuff happening, but this is going to be just Wolverine specific stuff. It does not mean there's not other external stuff. Where you can go to, we are working with other companies. Some of it's their product, some of it's going to be our product.
Whoa. That's it.
But that falls during the.
Oh, that's what I thought. I was trying to figure out what.
I turned on and the force blew it down.
Sounds like one is destroying stuff.
Get on that mess up. I got mics taped to the, not taped, but I got those little,
You got 2 mics.
these little guys here.
Guys, what about my
Here, you know what I'm saying?
I heard you ask if I was here yet.
Hopefully not too many people are on.
I don't have an audio input source on this. I don't know how that would be.
It was because I just heard Nico in here talking about.
It's on a delay. Heard Nico. Oh. Webcam.
Good thing to
Start your 1 o'clock interviews here.
Awesome.
I really need this job. My last one kind of blew up.
Why don't we go take a look at shooting some guns?
Okay.
All right, so let me show you how we do quality control on the MTW. So this is what your target should look like when you're done. Why don't you give it a try?
Okay. How'd I do?
I'm not sure this is going to work out.
Unit 6, gun and ammo sales shot up once the pandemic hit.
Borders were closed. Importation was shut down.
It's caused this massive shortage in raw material.
Aluminium prices are at a 17-month high. Is there a recovery in store? What is the outlook?
1 o'clock interviews here.
Awesome.
I really need this job. My last one kind of blew up.
Why don't we go take a look at shooting some guns?
Okay.
All right, so let me show you how we do quality control on the MTW. So this is what your target should look like when you're done. Why don't you give it a try?
Okay. How'd I do?
I'm not sure this is gonna work out.
You at 6, gun and ammo sales shot up once the pandemic hit.
Borders were closed. Importation was shut down.
It's caused this massive shortage in raw material.
Aluminium prices are at a 17-month high. Is there a recovery in store? What is the outlook?
this job. My last one kind of blew up.
Why don't we go take a look at shooting some guns?
Okay.
All right, so let me show you how we do quality control on the MTW. So this is what your target should look like when you're done. Why don't you give it a try?
Okay. How'd I do?
I'm not sure this is going to work out.
We should be good now.
Hey, there we go. Do we have sound now? I guess we'll know in a few seconds.
Yep.
All right. Sweet. Sorry, technical difficulty. We had the mute button pressed.
I'm new.
Classic blunder. All right, so Cody is with us today. Most of you probably know Cody. He's our head tech. Has been doing that for a while now, about 5 years.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep.
Time flies. Yes, we are very muted. So go ahead and throw your comments and questions up there. What you want to talk about, and we will go from there. We got some stuff to talk about today, and we'll be answering your questions and attempting to make all of your wildest dreams come true.
Juan's on.
What's up, Juan? Yes, didn't you see the picture with Cody holding the AK? That definitely means that we are releasing an AK, just so we're clear.
Emails are going to start blowing
Apparently that is the conclusion that everybody jumps to. Let's see. There's a survey up right now. It's pinned to the top. So give us your thoughts on flash hiders. What's your favorite flash hider design that we currently have? Just for fun. There's an obvious correct answer. Just so we're clear.
Justin Maker's on. What's up, Justin?
Justin?
I ain't talked to him in a while.
What? Where you been, boy? I haven't heard from you in ages. Yeah, so are you going to a game soon?
Next month. We were supposed to go to one this weekend.
I was going to say, I thought...
Supposed to go to one this weekend. Got a couple of people have to go to a funeral, some other things that come up, so we just wasn't able to make this one.
Okay. I was going to say, I thought we were going to one soon. But
I was looking forward to it. It's in a new location that we haven't been to either, so I was kind of looking forward to it.
That's Third Coast.
Yeah, it's
right?
Third Coast, Bone Strike.
Bone Strike. Mm-hmm. What is the location?
I'll butcher the name of the town.
Somewhere in Georgia.
Somewhere in Georgia.
Town somewhere in Georgia.
Yeah. Milledgeville, something like that.
Okay. Today's beer of the day is Yeehaw Kolsch. It's a light, easy to drink beer. Really more of a summer beer, in my opinion, but I don't know. That's just me.
Mark says hello from Germany.
Yo, how are things in Germany these days? I was supposed to be over there in a few weeks, but not going to happen yet again. One day I'll get back over there.
Yeah. They'll let you in one of these days.
One of these days.
Mark also wants to know, is the Dwell adjustable with the Reaper Gen 2?
The electrical version, yes, but probably not in the way that you think. So with the Inferno Gen 2, the Hydra lines, all that, the Dwell is how long the nozzle stays forward and is releasing air. With the Reaper and Reaper Gen 2, the Dwell is how long the nozzle stays back. Okay, basically when it fires, it releases a fixed amount of air that's in a chamber in the system, and once that air is released, the nozzle cycles back, and the dwell set's more or less how long it stays back, not how much air it releases.
Terrell is asking about the Umarex Tavor 21. What would you recommend?
What is
So the Umarex is going to be the one that uses the Gen 2 Inferno with an M4 nozzle. That's not going to be the Hydra one.
Have they done both over the years?
Yeah.
They did. They used to use an offset nozzle and then
That's
switch.
the Ares. Mhm.
That's the Ares.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. I thought one of those brands like did one and then switched, but
Yeah.
maybe not. So Inferno with
The
which
M4
not
nozzle.
M4 nozzle, so just standard, and then just have to do the wiring for it. Yeah. Nice.
Michael says, I upgraded my MTW Forge to a PDI 509mm tight bore inner barrel. Do I need to adjust my dwell to compensate for this?
It depends on whether you had your dwell set correctly to begin with. A lot of people don't actually like fine tune their dwell. I mean, is that fair? Like,
Yeah, you usually just take it out of the box and kind of go play.
yeah, like a lot of people just kind of, well, it shoots fine, so whatever, it's all good. So if you already had it fine tuned for a shorter barrel, then you may need to increase it a little bit. It's not difficult. I recommend everybody learn how to tune the dwell on the gun properly. It's not difficult, and it'll save you a whole lot of air and make your gun a whole lot more efficient. So I'd recommend doing it, but as with a lot of things, if it shoots fine, it's probably fine. It's, there's not magic jelly beans in it that you have to
Not yet.
Well, we're working on the magic jelly beans.
Splash Montana is asking how we adjust the rate of fire on the billet.
On the billet, it uses the Spartan programming methodology. So basically, you're going to go into programming, and there's full instructions on this. Instruction manual all the manuals are up on the website. We just put new versions of all those up. They're really nice now. Basically, you're going to go into programming mode, switch the gun to select fire, and then hold down the trigger, and it will cycle through different rates of fire. And you just stop when you're at the rate of fire you want.
So Justice said, come see him at AMS Iron Horse. Isn't that the one that I'm going to?
I still have not gotten a code for you yet, but supposedly.
Okay.
Supposedly
So-
we're going to be... I probably won't be there. I want to go, but I'm going to be coming back from South Africa the weekend before, and it's just kind of a bit of a week in South Africa and then home for a week and then back down for a long weekend is a bit much, but we'll see.
I may come see you, Justin. Matt Cody, any chance of another run of shorter outer barrels for the MTW? Looking for something in the 1 to 3 inch range.
1 to 3? 1 to 3, holy cow, that's short. I think the ones we did were 4.5.
Yeah, it was 4.5.
4.5, and they were short.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether we'll do 1 to 3. We might do another run of I don't know, 4.5 inch barrels at some point. But I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to justify taking down production to run small batches of custom stuff like that.
KP wants to know why you're going to South Africa.
Yo, I haven't heard from you in forever.
Been a minute.
All the OG are jumping on today.
Yeah.
There's an event in South Africa, and we're just looking to sort of open up that market and get into it a bit. So going to have some meetings, that type of thing, and then there's an event supposed to pull like 1,000 people or so
supposed to be a big game.
for a game down there, and we're gonna see a different part of the world and try not to get mugged.
How is the Max Hop-Up prototype?
I'm gonna be honest. We still have not gotten to test it yet. It's sitting on my desk. But we've been pretty freaking covered up with stuff that you will hear more about at the March 3rd product announcement event.
Yeah.
So lots of stuff that we've already told you we're going to release all the final details for the limited edition at that event. But there's a bunch of other stuff that we haven't even mentioned to you guys that yeah, we're going to be showing off there. So you'll see what's been keeping me so busy the past few months. But yeah, be sure if you haven't yet. There is an event on Facebook, an event on Instagram, I think, as well. That you can go find the event. It's scheduled, and you can sign up for the event, and you can get set yourself a reminder and all that kind of stuff. So you don't want to miss it. It's going to be a live streamed event. It's going to be the place to be. If you're in the industry and you want to show up in person, we will be having an in-person attendance at the Meadowview Convention Center that day. It's going to be fun times.
Yeah, Meadowview's super nice too.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
So Casper Anderson is OG's rep. So all the OGs are on today.
Yeah.
KP's has been busy like crazy, but good to see you guys.
Oh man, last I knew he was doing a whole bunch of car customization stuff.
You remember Hezron?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you see him on you know that show Undercover Boss?
Yeah.
He was on Undercover Boss.
Huh.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I watched it the other day.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had not heard that.
Morgan Shipman asked, did I hear it mentioned in a video that the limited edition won't have a Phoenix Hoppo?
That is correct. So the limited edition is getting the. Oh, we have one here. What we're switching to on all Forged, because we are going to reintroduce Forged. I mentioned this last week. We have managed to acquire a small batch of forgings that will let us relaunch the standard Forged series later this year. You can look for details on that later on. But what we're switching to is essentially just a CNC version of our original hop-up design. The reason behind this is really we just think, based on all the feedback that you guys have given us, that the Phoenix Hop is kind of too complex for an out-of-the-box gun. You kind of want something simpler that is harder for people to, get messed up right out of the box, and just not overly complicated out of the box. And the Phoenix will be available aftermarket, so if you want to do that yourself, that's great. But so we're making that change with the limited edition, and those will eventually be carried forward on the Forged series later on.
Let's see. How about a QD flash hider with Wolverine suppressor?
QD flash hider. It's not completely out of the realm of possibility. The problem is stuff like suppressors are kind of commodity. There's lots of companies over in Asia that manufacture stuff, really inexpensively. Now, if I could make it a functional suppressor and I could get away with that, with some technology in it, something that we can actually do better than I mean, we could. I guess we could, in theory, you could argue we could make a higher precision, like more well engineered suppressor overall. But I feel like a lot of people just don't want to spend that much money on a suppressor. And like the fact that you can buy what's the popular QD suppressor. We have a couple of them. The tan one back there.
I cannot think of who.
Shoot, I can't remember.
Come from Red Wolf. I know it.
I can't remember. ARC. I can't remember some acronym. Anyway, that has like a QD. Has a whole suppressor and the QD flash hider and all, and it costs what, like maybe
40
yeah, as I said, like 40, maybe $50. For all the pieces that go into that and the size of some of those pieces, it's pretty stupid cheap. We can't, manufacturing stuff in the U.S., we can't really compete with that. We have to do stuff that actually has some technology in it that we can do better than other people. Because if it just comes down to straight manufacturing costs, I mean, you can manufacture stuff cheaper overseas. That's always going to be the case.
Kevin says, new owner of a billet. Very happy with my MTW. Can't wait for upcoming event in 2022 to use your products. Omega Ops Crossfire.
Omega Ops Crossfire. Where is that one? Because we're still looking at sort of filling out the event calendar for this year. So if you got a good one, holler at us.
Says Steve says a friend of mine makes.
See, that's a thing. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead and read the comment.
A friend of mine makes a carbon fiber outer barrel with an integral suppressor for the MTW. Off the shelf version would be cool.
Yeah. So we have looked at the possibility of doing an integrally suppressed barrel, because you could probably pretty safely get away with that as having it a functional airsoft suppressor, as long as it's all integrated into the barrel and it's not like a suppressor that they would try to argue could be mounted on an actual firearm. I mean, even that argument is kind of silly because the threads don't match. You have to make an adapter, and all sorts of things in this world. A pillow, if you make an adapter for it, will function as a suppressor. Yep. I mean, literally, grab some duct tape and duct tape a pillow to the end of your gun, and you have a suppressor. Not a great one, but
you can always stick with the oil can.
a freaking oil filter, and they make adapters. And what they ruled in that case was that the adapter, not the oil filter, is a suppressor. So why wouldn't you? But that's not how they want to rule it. I mean, it should be, you make an airsoft suppressor, as long as it doesn't have threads that match an actual firearm,
should be good to go.
It should be fine.
Yep.
But that's not how they've made the rules. So, yeah.
Paul says, really love my MTW. Works like a charm. Greeting from France.
Sweet. I've still not been to France. I have an invitation to go to France, but I have not made it over there yet.
Says new owner from Portugal, so happy playing with the gun out of the box, Top Gun.
Nice.
Yep.
It's good stuff. Speaking, I've seen a couple comments about rails. That was on our list of topics for discussion today. What are your all's thoughts on rails? Because obviously we've done several. There's probably going to be, we'll probably do more in the future. But what are your thoughts on rails? What do you like? What do you look for? What design features do you like or not like? Send us some thoughts. They're obviously very personal. That's one thing we found is it doesn't matter who you. It doesn't matter what you do. Somebody's going to like it and somebody's going to hate it. But what's your? Just out of curiosity, what's your favorite rail of the ones that
we've done? I've always been a big fan of the quad rail. That's always been one of my tops. I agree. But the advanced M-LOK rail that we did, that was a sharp rail. I really like that rail.
Yeah, those are probably my two favorite. The quad rail just looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, you put it on all different builds, and it just. The sort of super slim rails have been popular for a while, but there's something about having a little bit of meat up front that just is, I don't know, gives the gun a little bit of weight and heft. I kind of like it as well. But give us your thoughts, because we're always, we'll probably in the future come out with some different rail designs and such. So give us your thoughts.
So Steve, what else is Daniel Defense? Of course, that's always been a popular rail.
Yeah. But but now that you say Daniel Defense, it used to be Daniel Defense made one freaking rail. Now Daniel Defense makes 15 different rail designs. So do you like quad rail? Do you like M-LOK? Does anybody like Keymod anymore? Because I hate Keymod.
I hate Keymod.
It is. I don't know. I don't know how that's still surviving.
Ditch the billet for older style. The older style has always been our first original rail that we did. Has always been very popular. Everybody really liked it.
Super simple, just streamlined.
It would be nice to see an original smooth M-LOK rail system return. And hello from Aerosmith in Cornwall, UK.
Yeah, I doubt we'll ever go back to something exactly like the original. Yeah. That's just not. I don't know. It's not really our style.
First gen rails was the best for me. So a lot of people like that first gen rail. I love your handguard. It's the stock that I've changed.
Yeah, so stocks and grips, the philosophy for us with that has always been, and I know this isn't as much the case outside of the U.S., so we are looking at options in terms of bringing more complete, guns with more complete furniture or higher-end furniture as options. But for us, in the U.S., it's so cheap and easy to replace your stock and grip. We didn't want to increase the price of the gun for everybody because people customize all that anyway. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter what you like. You can pick any stock you want. You know, somebody's gonna like. There's gonna be a bunch of people that want something different. And change.
I mean, we could have spent the money and put a $1 Strike Industry stock on it.
Sure.
Somebody might not like Strike Industry. That might be
Right, and
the first
then
thing
they pull
change.
it off, but then they might not buy the gun because now the gun's $50 more expensive, right?
It's in
Because
stock.
for a freaking stock,
Yeah.
and whereas they have 3 stocks laying in the bin that they would want to put on there before that one. So, we wanted to keep the base offering as sort of as little put the money from our standpoint, put the money into high quality parts that are not the ones that are easy to replace that people want to customize. So high quality receiver set, internals, electronics, barrel and hop up, all that kind of stuff. Even the rail, because while people do swap rails, it's not as easy to swap the rail. But do something. Put the money into those things and not into the stuff that everybody changes anyway. That's been our philosophy.
Morgan says key mod looks unfinished.
Yeah, I just don't like the look. I don't like the look of it, and I hate the function of it personally.
Yeah.
It's so obnoxious to work with.
Not a big fan of the current style. Get lots of comments from my older one, Smooth and Lock. I'm very much. Casper says he's very much into M-Lock. Loves the Gen 1 MTW and the Forged. But he's been looking at the Gridlock light rail from Strike Industries.
I don't know that one.
I'm not real familiar with that one either. He says you can get a 40 millimeter wide suppressor inside that one though.
Oh, that's a big rail.
Yeah.
I've thought about doing a bigger rail just to fit a fatter suppressor. It's just, I mean, it gets kind of, I don't know. It gets a little sketchy from a design standpoint overall for the rest of the gun, but you can do it.
It kind of takes, to me, it takes away a little bit of that slim.
Yeah.
Let's see what YouTube's got going on over here. 100% the quad rail. Mark says 100% the quad rail.
Yeah.
Michael says chunkier the better.
Yeah. The quad rail just looks good. I don't know. We should grab one of those, but it just does. It's a really classic look, and I like it.
Says I love the weight as is compared to my Daniel Defense Mark 18, which is heavy.
Yeah.
They got some weight to them. He says I swapped rail grip and stock on both my MTWs, and just about everybody else does.
Yeah. Oh, what else we got? On the Invictus side of the business, Invictus Manufacturing, we are in the process of getting a new machine in, which is going to be pretty slick. Getting a new mill, taking a step up, going with an Akuma this time around. Should be pretty fun. Replacing one of the old Haas mills with new Akuma. Gonna get to learn a new operating system and all that jazz, but it should be a good time. Gonna increase our capacity on the machining side quite a bit. Hopefully open up some possibilities for making higher volumes as well as more different products going forward, so we can keep coming out with new stuff, because we got fun stuff planned.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But Wounded Dragon says, hello from the Netherlands. I'm waiting for some spare parts to rebuild my first gen MTW, serial number 72.
Ooh, that's early.
Also, I need a backup in the form of a second MTW. What do you guys advise to get?
I mean, you can jump in on this as well, but my thoughts on this are always, if you just want, like, it depends on what you're after. If you just want bang for your buck, like, just doesn't have, and you're going to customize it yourself, you're going to do whatever, and the receiver design doesn't really matter to you all that much, the billet is hands down the way to go.
Yeah, and that's one of the great things about the MTW too, is it's modular, so even as a backup you can just switch out parts.
Oh yeah.
Make it your original.
Yeah, you get two, and then you can swap parts 10 different ways and have a whole bunch of different variations to play with.
Charles says, you guys have an amazing product. Can't wait to get my S&P back. Got to get back to work. Hey, Trail, man, hit me up on email. I've been trying to get a hold of you, and you haven't responded back to me, too. That way we can get your S&P back to you.
Yeah, something else we haven't done in a while is swag. We've been out of stock of like all of our t-shirts and everything for a long time. Just haven't had time to mess with it, but we are getting some new t-shirts in, not a ton, and we just got one color this time. Really excited about the design. That was pretty slick. Looking forward to that. They should be in a couple weeks or something. But what else do you guys want as far as swag? What do you guys decide? Calvin's been pushing for beer koozies.
Yeah, he wants a beer koozie, which he says that I'm on his side now, though, because I've got a beer koozie in my drawer next to my desk.
Okay. I mean, koozies are cool, but, whatever. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the t-shirts. I mostly wear t-shirts. It's just, I don't know. I rarely bother with dressing up much beyond that unless I'm forced to. But, yeah, the new t-shirts should be really cool.
I think we should do some long sleeve shirts. We've never done any long sleeve shirts.
We haven't done any long sleeve shirts. We kind of missed the time of year to do them in.
Yeah.
If we do them now, it's going to be like getting into spring.
Yeah, we might do that something next year.
Yeah, maybe do some in the fall or something. But long sleeve t-shirts are also cool. That, and I really want the other thing I'd wear personally, though. I don't know how many people would actually. Most people don't want to spend the money on like a nice jacket, but personally, I want like a nice jacket.
Like that one you got for Christmas. That was
that was
nice.
I still wear that one.
Yeah.
Put that one through the paces over the past few years. Man, let's see.
So Christopher says, I was going to replace the rail on my Billet SBR, but such good quality, I love it. Just would like the front section of the Picatinny removed and M-lock sections included in the box.
Right. Yeah, the having the mixture of like M-lock and some rail seems to be very divisive. People either love it or hate it.
Yeah, and go either way.
Yeah, it seems like people either really like it or they just think it's terrible.
So I'm with Jordan the boy here. He said flex fit hats. I'm a big fan of flex fit hats. I like the flex fit hats.
Yeah.
Either that or if you're going for like a trucker style, the Robertson hats. Those are good ones too.
I'm not familiar with those.
He also says zip up hoodies.
I don't like zip hoodies.
I like the 3/4 zip ones, or was it quarter zip ones?
Yeah, I could live with that. I like hoodies. I wear a hoodie.
Yeah.
But zip up hoodies don't do it for me. I don't know. Never been my thing.
Glenn McCroskey says MTW AK hat.
Yes. Okay, there we go. Oh man.
Juan says glow in the dark patches and headbands. We've talked about the glow in the dark patches before.
Glow in the dark stuff is just kind of fun.
Do you offer the upper receiver so I can have all different setups at the ready to pop on and change for different scenarios?
We do offer upper receivers by themselves. Only the billet are available right now. We don't have the forged because we can't get forgings. So that is kind of what it is. But yeah, we do sell the uppers by themselves.
Chris Holmes says Wolverine aerosols are the true MVPs. Thank you guys for taking care of my issue on my MTW the other day. Much love.
No worries. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
I thought Glenn was going to say an MTW M249 hat.
There's no telling what's going to come from. Got a bunch for the FlexFit hats.
Really?
Yeah. FlexFit caps, ball caps, and hoodies.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. That's a good question. Michael Victory asked, I have a 7-inch current standard rail. Can you tell me if the Hera Arms foregrip fits and sits flush at the front on the 7-inch? I think it's that, isn't it? Kind of comes up flush with it, doesn't it?
I'm trying to remember whether I've tried that.
If I remember correctly, wasn't our profile picture on the...
Yeah, but they put the Hera Arms rail and grip
the
on
rail?
there. Yeah,
Okay.
I know that works. But Hera Arms, if I'm remembering correctly, sells the grip separately. You can put it on whatever rail. I honestly do not remember. I'm I'm trying to remember whether I've actually tried that. We don't have one of those in house. One of those
Air
Air
Arms,
Arms
no.
kit. They're kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of funny. There was a was it ASG distributing some Hero Arms gun a few years back? I forget who was manufacturing it.
Seems like I remember that.
But if you actually messed with them side by side, like the quality of the materials and stuff on the airsoft one was way better than the real one. Like the real one was like the hard, like plastic, very hard plasticky kind of feel, and the airsoft one had a much like nicer, much nicer texture and feel to the polymer and all that kind of stuff. It was just kind of funny.
I'd be down for this. Some Wolverine darn tough socks.
Ooh. We should have talked with them when they were across the hall from us.
Yeah.
We sat across at a SHOT Show a few years back from Darn Tough. A few years.
Yeah,
Like several years.
2 or 3 years in a row, yeah.
Yeah. Seemed like nice folks.
MTW face mask in camo colors.
We're going to just move along.
I'm still game for a support MTW. I hope that's part of the big news. Gonna order the limited edition too, but the need for a support gunner is real.
The need for many things is real. The ability for us to do everything all at once, however, is not real. Dang it.
Ooh, I do like the MTW Owners t-shirt.
That we have talked about.
Get one to match that patch, the MTW Owners patch they came out with.
Yeah, that we have talked about. I'm trying to remember. The MTW Owners patch had like the profile graphic, like line art. I was thinking of doing like a line art thing like that, like along the side of the t-shirt, and then like MTW, something like that. All right, so here's our results. We're gonna wrap it up here in a few minutes. I actually gotta run to an appointment here before too long. So, results from our poll. I don't know how many votes we had, but 12% of you said that obviously the plastic orange one is the best. This is the flash hider poll. 20% of you said that the cross-drilled version was the best, and then 68% picked the open style. That is much heavier weighting than I thought.
Yeah.
Bomber jacket with Cuddle stitched on the back.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. It would cost an arm and a leg.
But that would be awesome.
Oh my goodness, that would be epic.
Get a lot for the Flexton hats. We might have to look into the Flexton hats.
I like the Yapung hats personally, but that's
the which ones?
The Yapung trucker hats. They're pretty well made. I produce Wolverine beer.
Yes.
That's already a thing. I haven't brewed in quite a while, but I do enjoy it when I get to it.
See if we get one last question here. It says, I'm attending my first Milsim West game in April. I'm torn between using my Reaper M MTW to not worry about batteries or water, heavy rain, versus using my Inferno build to be more air efficient. Any advice?
I mean, the Reaper M doesn't use that much more air than... I mean, it depends on what your setup is, really. That's gonna depend. But I guess maybe for your particular setup, you know which one's more efficient. I mean, that's really just kind of up to you. I've never been to a Milsim West event, so I don't know.
I have not. Dalton wants me to go bad, but
yeah.
I have not been to one either.
I
don't think you can go wrong either way.
Yeah, I don't really feel like there's necessarily a wrong answer to that. I mean, you have both ready, and if it doesn't look like it's going to rain, then maybe you just stick with the Inferno.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with Inferno.
Yeah.
You never can go wrong with
And
Inferno.
if it looks like it's going to be pouring rain, then maybe you jump on the Reaper M. All right. Well, I think we're gonna call it a little bit early today. Thank you everybody for jumping on. We're gonna try to keep these between 30 and 45 minutes in general, just to keep them from dragging on forever. So we're gonna cut this one at about 35 minutes. It was fun. Tell your friends. Be here next week.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys out on the field.
Have a good one.